mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
From the gridiron to the ball diamonds, from the hardwood to the ice rinks, from the fairways to the octagon and everywhere in between. If it makes headlines, it's fair game on the Sports Reel podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network. And we do welcome you to the Sports Reel podcast here on the PFC Entertainment Network. Along with Tim and Eric, I'm Jason. We appreciate you tuning in here this week, and something of a new chapter for our show, Tim, as we move to a new night here. Starting this week and moving forward, you're going to be able to find this show live every Tuesday night. And that's so that we can welcome Eric on as a regular co-host to this show. So moving forward, because he did such an amazing job when he was here a couple of weeks ago, and obviously he had a good time with it. So all the stars are in alignment. And Eric, let me be the one to tell you, it is such a pleasure and a privilege to welcome you officially to the PFC Network family, my friend. So thank you so much for being a part of this. Gentlemen, how is things going in your neck of the woods?
Well, I'd like to say thank you first, Jason, for inviting me on here and letting you guys let me join. But other than that, I'm doing great. Beer's cold, sports ready to be talked about. Let's go.
Well, give me a second. I got to get close to my mic. I feel like I have to eat my mic because I feel like I'm 10 fucking feet away right now, buddy. Here we go.
That was a little intense.
No, I'm doing good. You know, rough weekend. Jason, let me tell you a little story real quick.
Please.
So to tell you how our weekend went. So Sunday we go grocery shopping like normal. We do our whole thing. You know, we pick up a ton of. It was actually a heavy grocery shopping week. Bought a bunch of freezer shit, stuff like that. Now, let me ask you if your kids have ever done this. So you've been to my house. You've seen my big, giant stand-up freezer in the garage, right?
Yes.
Like, it's a big son of a bitch. So my kid, love him. And I didn't even get mad about this, and I didn't even know how to react. But at some point Sunday night, he goes out there to the garage to get himself an ice cream because we bought him a bunch of new ice creams on Sunday. So he's like, I want ice cream. So he goes out there. I go out in the garage Monday morning. Lo and behold, my garage floor is like soaked. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look and the fucking freezer's open. So we spent yesterday throwing away probably $1,000 worth of food. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now, is an empty freezer. The trash got a ton of really good food. Some of it we had just bought, but it was warm. I mean, it was hot out this weekend. Like there was no saving it. There was a few things in there we saved. Like we had a couple Dearborn hams that were still pretty frozen solid. Some Cornish hens in there that I like to smoke up. They were still pretty frozen solid, but everything else was just like boom. I didn't even get mad. You know what I mean? Love the kid. It was an accident. Like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Shit happens. You move on from it. But have you ever had that happen?
Absolutely, we have. Yeah. You know, yeah. It's one of those things, and like you, man, it could have been real easy for me to just completely go off the rails when you look at, oh my God, I've just wasted all this food, all this money, all this, that, and the other thing. But at the end of the day, man, it was an innocent accident, and, you know, let that be a life lesson. But I can't tell you it's never happened since then, too. Yeah. But yeah, I hear you.
I can tell you the first thing I did is I went on there and I bought a, like a little alarm, like a fucking couple sensors that you put right inside the freezer, and the fucking head unit sits inside the house. It's got an alarm on it, and then we have all the Alexas throughout the house. I don't have any down here, thank God. Otherwise, they'd be going nuts right now. But they pick up that sound of the alarm going off, and then it pings everything else in the house. So hopefully it never happens again. But that's the second time it's happened that he's done it. The first time was in the dead of winter, so all it did was created a bunch of snow inside the freezer because it was already cold in the garage. So besides the mess of having to clean it all up, everything was still good. But yeah, I had to bring a blower home from work to hook up to my air compressor to blow the thing out because the whole freezer, it was like you open it up, it was a big sheet of snow. Like you couldn't even see food. It was just all snow. It was pretty fucking wild. But this time, dead of summer in this heat, yeah, we looks like we're going to be dropping quite a bit of money this weekend, which luckily I was telling Eric that right before that happened, I had finally ordered some stuff for the studio here. So hopefully by the next show, we're going to see a little bit different setup down here in the studio because I finally bought my table I've been talking about. So I got that ordered. It'll be here tomorrow, but I did that before all of this. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought it yet because I'm going to have to drop a pretty sizable chunk of money at Sam's Club this weekend to restock back up on chicken and shit because we just probably threw away 30 pounds of chicken. And I eat a lot of fucking chicken.
Or you just take little increments every week and restock it instead of just one giant haul. But
dude, I like to be prepared. You never know what's going to happen.
You guys definitely taught me because my daughter's about to be 2, so now I know when she gets older to check the freezer before I go to bed.
Get some sensors. That's all I gotta say is get some damn sensors.
Just check the freezer. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm learning from your guys' mistake.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna attempt to do.
That's what we're all here for, man. We're here to help each other out, navigate this shit we call life, right?
Exactly. But at the end of the day, it's a harmless mistake. You can always make more money.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. We're going to be looking at a lot of the sports headlines in and around MLB, NFL. We have other things that we want to touch on this week. I don't know if I want to save. Actually, I'll save this part of it till we get to Tim's 2-minute golf report because I did watch Happy Gilmore 2.
Thank God you fucking... Did you see my post?
I did too. I made sure to watch it.
I was like, you guys better watch it because I want to talk about it.
Yep.
So.
Just make sure you tag us next time too so it lets us know.
No, I'm just expecting that you guys follow the fucking page. I put a lot of time and effort in all my posts on there. Hoping you guys follow it.
I do.
You guys are both fucking co-hosts on this show. Like, this is number one important. Follow that page.
Not going to lie to you. I told my dad, I was like, we're watching it Sunday night. I fell asleep. I had to finish it today to make sure I knew what was happening so we could talk about it. So I'm committed.
We'll break that down later on in the program, but I do want to make mention, we'll just start here. For me, it's the elephant in the room. And Tim, I know this is something that resonates with you too, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it on the air since the events unfolded last Thursday. On this show, we spend the majority of our time looking at sports, legitimate sports, football, baseball, basketball, that type of thing. But because, Tim and I have history, and we spent a lot of time in the professional wrestling business. We were among the millions of people who were shocked to learn on Thursday that arguably the biggest name in the history of professional wrestling passed away. Of course, I'm referring to Hulk Hogan. Tim, I don't know how your day started that day. I woke up. What woke me up is a telephone call from my son. That's what woke me up. But I didn't wake up enough to answer the call. And I was about ready to call him right back. And I noticed I had like 16 text messages and even more waiting for me on Messenger. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? At that point, my girl walked in just as I read the first text, and I couldn't tell you whose text I found or read first, but I was, we had a conversation not all that long ago about celebrity passings and how we're affected by it, and
it was just last week, Jason.
Yeah, I knew
last week.
Not even a week.
The day before.
It was. Yeah, because we were talking about Ozzy, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it was just a shit week to begin with. We lost Ozzy, we lost Theo Huxtable, and then this happens. And of all the celebrity passings, man, of all the athletes I've watched, this one gutted me more than anything I've ever experienced. And we went to Monday Night Raw last night in Detroit, and I didn't think that they were going to do another full-blown tribute to him, but as the show was about to go live on Netflix, we started seeing all the roster come out on the stage, and I'm like, there's no way they're doing this again. They've never done two 10-bell tolls for anybody. It's always been on that first show after the passing, and then that was the end of it. They did it on SmackDown on Friday, but to my surprise, man, like they did it last night in Detroit, and it was the most emotional thing I've ever been a part of as a wrestling fan in a live event experience. Just to feel that energy, to hear the tolling of the bells. I said on the show when we did the tribute show last week, you know, a piece of my, you know, the definitive, the icon of my childhood, gone. That's not to say that all of my childhood is gone. It was just like my childhood was just so centered on Hulkamania and Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, and it this has messed me up. I'm not going to lie. Like it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would.
He definitely. Growing up, I was a wrestling fan, and both my parents preached who made wrestling was Hulk Hogan. I got out of it the older I got, but still, he's a legend, and he made the WWE what it is today. He brought it to that next level, picking up the Giant and dropping him. And now all I'm seeing right now is just podcasts of talking about all the iconic things he did. And yeah, it a little piece of my heart's gone. You know, Hulkamania is done, but it will never be done.
Hulkamania in the physical sense, in terms of the man, you know, it just, but the mania of Hulkamania, I mean, yeah, that's been the one thing about this week that I have taken away from him. Like, this dude's going to live on forever. You know, it wasn't just a catchphrase. He legitimately is going to live on forever. So.
Oh yeah, brother.
It's you know, the downfall of all of this is we did that great tribute show to Hulk Hogan last week there. That was fucking amazing between, you know, your input, Sean's input, and then mine. I even went off for a little bit on it. You know, I mean, it hit me hard, and just it'll never see the light of day beyond this point, because for some reason everybody wanted to shut us down. It was probably because we played Real American. Gosh damn it, that's such a good song. Why is it just like we didn't even play it directly on the show? Like, just let that show live. Like, sometimes Facebook pisses me off, but yeah, that one hit me hard too.
Hey,
my first text, what's up?
Don't be bad talking Facebook right now. They're gonna cancel this show too.
Oh, fuck them. They cancel every show they get a chance. They'll probably cancel this one because we showed pictures of Hulk Hogan already.
And then, you said fuck Facebook, so yeah, we're done. This one's gonna be off.
Cut us off every chance they get, but like it hit me hard. My first text was to you, Jason. Like, that day I saw that news, and like the first when I opened up my Facebook and I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is bullshit, because it was like from some weird ass fucking share on Facebook, and I'm like, that's not a legit site. And within 5 minutes, everybody was reporting. I'm like, what the fuck? What? So like I texted Jason right away, like, hey, like, 'cause I know he's your childhood hero. I mean, he's an icon that I looked up to too. Like that one hit hard, and I mean, yeah, Hulkamania will never die. It's gonna live on forever. We're gonna run wild. I almost want to do a shot in the honor of him right now, but I forgot glasses.
Go up and get some glasses.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a shot. So I'm gonna leave you with Jason. I'm gonna go grab some glasses real quick. Me and Eric are gonna do a shot for in honor of Hogan here real quick.
In reality,
I'll be right back.
You go do that, but in reality, it's just like when Kobe Bryant passed. Like, I didn't believe it right away. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, right. It's just out of nowhere on a Sunday afternoon. The next thing you know, you hear about a helicopter crash, and then it's like, wow, this is actually real. And it's like, it's hard to believe. It really is. It's hard to believe. And it's like Ozzy just passed and he was 76 and Hogan just passed. He was 71. And I realized the moment I'm like, Dad, you're 75. You're in the middle. You got to start taking care of yourself, damn it. But he does. He does. But he also did have a good point. You know, Ozzy did all who knows what in his day of rock and roll. And who knows what Hogan did to get back in that ring every week.
Right.
You know, they paid the price of doing what they had to do.
You know, the interesting part about this, and this is something that Tim and I had talked about. Sean Grugel and I have talked about it too on our wrestling show that we did. We put these athletes, we put these celebrities on such a pedestal, and they become larger than life. They become,
100%.
you know, we forget at the end of the day, these are humans, you know. And the guy that got me into podcasting was Conrad Thompson, and he said it perfectly. He's like, the superheroes, the Marvel characters, the DC characters, by and large, they don't die. But our heroes in professional wrestling do. And even though they're portrayed as real life superheroes, behind all of the pomp and circumstance, behind the makeup, behind the gimmicks, is a human being. And when something like this happens, and this, you know, I've thought about this off and on since Thursday, you know, it's like, God damn, at the end of the day, he was a man. He was a human being. And it takes a loss like this for us to put that back into perspective. Ozzy Osbourne is another example. Like, the dude was larger than life. He's a music icon. People legitimately thought that he was going to live pretty much forever until he didn't. And it really puts the whole sports thing, you know, more specifically, you know, with wrestling, it puts it humanizes everything. You mentioned Kobe Bryant, and you know, Kobe was one of the biggest names in the history of the NBA. And I wasn't necessarily, I haven't been a basketball fan in a long time, you know, and especially with anything that dealt with the Los Angeles Lakers. But I had so much respect for Kobe Bryant, and I understood why he was what he was. And when he died, I was upset about that, not because I was a fan of his, but because of the impact that he made in his sport, in his genre, the impact that he made on his fan base, and then all the tributes and stuff coming in. Just what a special man he was, and everything that he did for his friends, his family, his fans. Man, it just puts shit in perspective, and we are not promised by any stretch of the imagination a tomorrow. So we really need to, that's why I talk about all the time on the flagship show, we need to slow life the fuck down, because we take everything so much for granted until it's not here anymore. And so this whole thing has really screwed me.
What's the one thing you can't get back? I'm hoping one of you can say it. It's the one thing you can't get back.
Time.
Exactly. So
Yep.
You live at work and you vacation home, but you got to make those seconds count, because that's what comes down to it. And what really made me realize that is having my first kid.
Kids will always do that too.
Watching her grow up and watching the little moments, I'm like, I'm enjoying every second of this. I'm like, if I leave work early and my boss is mad, so be it. I'm a dad first and a worker second.
Absolutely. Could not have said that any better.
So, in honor of Hogan, real quick, I broke out the good shit. Jason, you're here in spirit.
Yep.
Next time you're down here, you're recording with us. I'll have you. I'll pour you a glass of the good
Pepsi
stuff.
shot. Hell yeah.
So,
Well, I listened to work tonight, so.
the Hulkamania, let that shit run wild forever, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like, because you know there's some crazy shit going on in heaven right now. So
Absolutely.
Cheers to Hogan.
All right. Let's also make mention, and I appreciate that, you guys, so thank you for that.
That was a big ass shot, bro. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I watched you pour. I'm like,
Holy fuck.
this dude's gonna make me look like a bitch the first time. I'm like, part of the show, I'm like, great, here we go. But
I should have grabbed the shot glasses. Not
that's
pour
what I
fucking
thought. You
2
grab
shots.
normal glasses. I'm like, what the fuck's this dude doing? I'm like, Jesus.
Ooh, that's hot.
Yeah. That's why I had to take over my fucking cold Bush Light.
But it was good.
It's probably because there's a horse on top, but it did taste good. Give you that.
What is good is the opportunity to come on to the show live. If you look at if you're watching us on Facebook and you're on the live stream, you will notice a link in the comments. Click on that link. It's going to bring you into a virtual waiting room. We get the notification and you can be a part of the show live as it happens. If you don't want to be on screen, you can still correspond with us through the live chat exclusively on the Facebook feed on the PFC Entertainment Network Facebook page. So we certainly appreciate everybody who's tuning in here tonight. Where do you want to go from here, Tim? Do you want to talk a little bit baseball? Do you want to go into football? I know the Detroit Lions are very much on our radar right now, preparing for the Hall of Fame game that's coming up with the Chargers.
Well, we can rock into baseball real quick. We'll give Eric a chance to get back. Apparently that whiskey hit him pretty fucking hard. He's already no, it didn't hit him that hard. I think he's taking a pee break. The beers are hitting him hard. But we'll get into baseball because we had a little uptick this week. A little sign of hopefully something good. I do have to say we've got a couple wins under our belt. And I was looking back and I think I made a comment about this in previous weeks, how I didn't even know that Kerry Carpenter was hurt. Now all of a sudden Kerry Carpenter's back and they're winning again. First game he's back, they fucking win. And not only they win, I believe that was a pretty big fucking blowout. You know what I mean? Like, this shit, we just need to get back on track here. So, and then if you want to look it up, I can't remember the names, but some trades did happen this week. We got a couple pitchers. I do know that.
Yep, stand by real quick. I'm looking at the standings right now for the second week in a row as we're recording. The Brewers are still on top of MLB.
Go Brewers!
Cubs and Blue Jays are tied for second. Dodgers and Mets are tied for third, and the Tigers are in fourth place, just 2 games behind Milwaukee Brewers. So we're
2 games,
right.
But we did trade for some pitchers, didn't we, recently?
Yeah, Jason's looking them up right now.
And then I realized someone's heading to the Blue Jays too. Another pitcher from, I think, the Guardians. I looked at that today.
Yeah, we have to look at all these trades real quick to see what's going on.
Well, since you guys made me a host of this podcast, I followed the MLB, NHL, NFL, everything on Facebook.
NHL is easy to follow right now. There's nothing going on.
Well, no, I heard rumors that the Red Wings are trying to trade for Austin Matthews. Do you know who that is?
I have no fucking idea.
That is like one of their top players at the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, we need you to follow the NHL.
Yeah, that's why I like the NHL second more than anything. So I will definitely do that. Like, they don't call us Hockey Town for a reason. We got to get back to that.
Eric, with all due respect, do you really feel that Detroit can still make a claim to be Hockey Town at this point?
Who would it be? It ain't Chicago.
It's Florida fucking Panthers.
Fuck the Panthers. They won 2 in a row. Yeah, great, but fuck them. No,
They're going to win 3 in a row next year. You want to know why?
Because
of the Pope.
No,
it's because of the Pope.
No, that means the Chicago Bears are going to win the Super Bowl then, too. That ain't going to fucking happen.
They're not going to win. I shared that. Did you see that shit I shared on Facebook earlier this week? I was like, if this is real, it'd be funny as fuck.
Yeah, I seen that.
But Ben Johnson calls Dan Campbell and says, hey, this isn't working. I wish I wouldn't have left. This isn't working out the way that I thought it would. But I heard there is some turmoil over there now.
We'll get to NFL.
Yeah,
because we got NFL this week until February, so we'll get into that, but still.
All right.
Fuck the Panthers. 2 in a row. The last fucking goddamn
Go Brewers.
Florida. Okay, I can handle that because that's an original 6 at least. Do you even know the original 6 at all? Can you name all 6 the original 6 of the NHL?
Oh, I said Brewers. That's a baseball team, bro.
Well, the Boston.
Oh, the Bruins.
Bruins, same thing.
Yeah.
Close enough, but
All
could you
right.
name all the go ahead, Jason. Sorry, we were sidetracked. Go ahead.
Red Wings, Blackhawks, Canadians,
What one?
the Montreal,
Yep.
Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, or the Penguins are not on the original six.
Nope.
All right, Detroit, Chicago, Montreal, Boston.
Yep.
Um,
You're missing two. There's another one in Canada.
Toronto.
Yep.
Okay.
The Big Apple.
Oh yeah, the Rangers.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, it took me a second.
Yep. That's why when you threw the other one out there, I'm like, no, you're close though, but no.
I don't know why I always feel like. All right, hang on. I'm pulling up the Tigers roster moves right now.
Yep.
And
Yep. Go ahead and do that. Yep. And then have you any of you seen the emblem they did for the 100 years of the original six?
No.
Oh, Google that. Pull that up on the show. You already know what one's got the best.
Okay, here we go. The latest roster moves. All right, there's a bunch of guys that got sent down.
Yep.
Tigers, okay, they sent Alex Cobb on a rehab assignment to West Michigan. Ryan Kriedler to the Mud Hens. Okay. Minnesota Twins traded Chris Paddock and Randy Dobnak to the Tigers for Jimenez.
I think that's been the only moves I've seen so far.
There was
Trade-wise.
only two trades, 100%.
Yeah. I think it was that one trade for two guys for one guy.
I believe. Yep, you're right.
This
you're
is
right.
where the fuck is Jim at? Because he might have some feedback about these guys. Because when I was looking at their ERAs and their stats, they don't look too hot, but maybe they're seeing something in them that I'm not seeing just by their stats.
So I know the Tigers are trying to lock down the pitcher from Arizona, and he's actually out of the lineup for tonight. So it makes you wonder if they are finalizing this deal. It was said that they wanted to finalize this deal before Arizona left Detroit. So we could be on the verge of a big signing for the Tigers, and I'm trying to pull it. Jim sent, and this is why, because Jim sent me the clip or the news that this was happening, and I wish to hell he was on here.
Where's he at?
I don't know. It's not even softball night, so I don't know where he's at.
On. I'm pulling it up. I'm on the page. Hold on.
Okay, and I'm looking for the logo for the original six.
Oh, yeah, pull those logos up. Tell me what one has the best. You already know.
NHL.
All right, I just messaged Jim. Who knows if he'll fucking see it? He's probably cutting grass and doing what he does while he cuts grass.
Cutting grass and getting ass, brother.
Fuck, I still. Whew.
Right there. There's one of the trades.
Tiger. Oh, yeah, that's the one we were just talking about.
Yep,
Chris
okay.
Paddock and da-da-da. That's the only one that I've seen that's official yet for the Tigers. But yeah, 2 games back, 2 in a row. One against the Blue Jays there at the end, right?
Well, then here's who
And then they just beat Arizona in that first game they play tonight, correct, Jason?
Arizona is winning 1-0 right now, according.
That's still early. You just need Carpenter to get to the mound one time.
Well, then there's who's on the move. They got a pitcher from the Orioles to the Blue Jays. They're trying to seal that down right now because they're playing hot.
Yeah, Blue Jays reportedly acquired right-handed pitcher Sir Anthony Dominguez.
That's who I seen that
From
the other day.
Orioles, per multiple reports. Oh man, there's so many moves going on right now. It's exciting in baseball.
It's a deadline, and everyone's playing hot right now. The Tigers they've been on the All-Star break screwed them hardcore.
Hey, but I see that the Guardians have slipped back a little bit too, and the Tigers are up by 8 right now. So that's a good sign. Because last week they were only up by 2.5.
Oh yeah, they definitely came across. All right, hold on, scroll down, Jason. Hold on. Where's the original 600-year anniversary? Not seeing it at all.
No, hang on. Let's do this.
We got. Oh, why is my fucking?
Here, I'll show Tim. Maybe he can pull it up.
All right. Man, why is this being such a difficult bitch tonight?
Okay. Eric, is it this?
Yep, right there. Tim's got it.
Okay.
The one right on the left. Yep.
Hold on here a second, Jason.
Tim's got it. Hold on.
Let's see if I can remember how to do this.
You better figure it out, brother.
Go to share. Screen.
Share. Screen.
Should pull up your tabs.
Here we go. So
Right
this
there.
guy right here.
Right there. You already know who's got the best one out of the 100 years.
Oh, well, yeah, it's Detroit, hands down.
You got the wing with the 100. Like, you can't even compete. Like, you know, the Bruins looks good.
Yep.
The Maple Leafs with the 100 in the leaf, I like it. But then you got the Blackhawks, the Rangers, and the Canadians. It's just they didn't do anything. They didn't try. I feel like they didn't.
Very basic, for sure.
Exactly. And I'm just like, I know they made some jerseys too, so that's going to come out this year. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what drops for that.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm a big hockey fan. I grew, I watched the 96 team. I watched the 97 team. I watched the 02 team. I watched the 08 team. And breaks my heart still. I watched the 09 team that lost to Pittsburgh in Detroit. Because in 08, we won it in Pittsburgh. And then in 09, Pittsburgh won it in Detroit. And we could have won that game. We could have went back to back. And I was hoping that would have been great. Yeah, Gordie Howe. You got so many iconic players in Detroit. You got so many cups there. It's still hockey town to me. And there's no one that can replace it.
Panthers.
We're about to go fucking Hulkamania.
Hold on, now we're talking about hockey. We're on baseball. Let's get back to baseball.
Yeah, you're right. Baseball.
So Tigers, they're losing 1-0 right now. That's no big deal. Carpenter's coming back up to the mound at some point. I'm glad that he's back because holy shit. Hold on.
Oh fuck! Here we go.
Oh, shit. I'm on.
You're totally unprepared. Dave is in the chat.
All right, Dave. Because of you, here's this week's PBA report update.
Let's hear it, Tim.
Fucking Dave. Wait till you see this next comment pop up here, Eric. Give it a second. Go ahead with the PBA report.
Chris Vaya and Brianna Cote won the 2025 Storm Mixed Doubles this past weekend. Congratulations to them. Looks like Frank and Jordan Snodgrass will lead the Lucci qualifying tournament, so that's great news for them. Hopefully that's going to lead to something. And that's about it. That's it for this week's PBA report.
I'll take that comment, though. I'll take that.
Fucking Dave. So Eric is just Tim, but with a personality.
Well, start having a fucking personality,
fucking Dave.
Bitch. Start fucking getting into it. Hulkamania, motherfucker.
If I didn't like this shirt, I'd rip it off right fucking now and Hulk.
I'll buy you a new one if you do it, bitch.
Oh, my God. That's fantastic.
That's what I thought. No balls.
Good to see you, Dave.
Good. Absolutely. Always Always a pleasure.
Which I heard actually the PBA apparently was in Port Huron here last week. So
Really?
I don't know anything about that or if any of those tournaments actually showed up in Jason's PBA report. But back to baseball real quick. I don't know how much we can cover on baseball. We're still waiting for trades to come in. Tigers are on a couple game win streak. They're turning it around. Guardians have fell back. Last I checked, Tigers were up 8.5 games or some shit in the Central. So we're still looking good. We need to get back to the number one team in baseball, obviously. But right now we're still sitting good. You don't think they're sitting good?
You don't need to be the number one team in baseball.
No, you just need to win your division. Get in the
You need
playoffs.
to win your division, get in the playoffs, and when October comes, those bats need to be swinging.
Yeah, and that's why.
And the way they've been playing, the All-Star break killed them. That break stopped their hot streak and everything. And
do you think that plays an effect in sports though when you get that little bit of a break? Because I feel like last year in the playoffs for the Lions, that kind of killed them having that week off in between.
it could have. It definitely could have. But I've also heard about how the NFL should go to only 2 preseason games, give the teams 2 bye weeks, but that second bye week is the Pro Bowl. You throw the Pro Bowl in the middle of the season, give every team a break and all that. And I don't know how I feel about that, because you're going to still have players that have to go to the skill challenge and play in the flag football. So it's like, yeah, you're not really playing, but the Pro Bowl is not what it used to be. But we are talking about the Tigers right now, so let's stay on track. But you are right.
I'm just a bit, and Dave just made a good point. Even though Dave, I'm gonna say you're wrong, brother. You said okay, but the real news next week is the start of the NFL preseason.
The preseason starts this week, Dave.
It starts in 2 days, Dave.
In 2 motherfucking days.
Our Detroit Lions play in the Hall of Fame game in 2 days.
Exactly, and they're the only them and the Chargers the only teams that get 4 preseason games.
Yeah.
Reality, I think you need to get rid of 2 preseason games. Sounds good to me.
Well,
You don't need many. You got to find out what your rookies can do, what your new signings can do. Like Dan Camp, okay, MLB. We're getting sidetracked again. MLB.
I mean, we can stick to MLB, but are we done with MLB, Jason?
We're about to, but I think the break in the middle. Come on, the bats were swinging hot before then, and then all of a sudden you get a break, and the Tigers in the All-Star game just shit the bed. And then you run that over to like, oh yeah, we got 4 players in the All-Star game or 5, and they look like shit, and then they come out after that and everyone's just playing like ass. So yeah, I think the All-Star break kind of screwed them, and now they're starting. They humbled down. They're okay. You got humbled. You lost fucking 10 of your last 12. You got humbled. Now they're starting to come back. They're realizing who they are, and I think they'll be okay. Do I think they'll be the number 1 team in baseball? No. But I think they can at least be the number 2 or 3. And then when October comes, that's all that matters. The regular season matters until you can get in the playoffs, and then it doesn't matter at all. Like every other sport. As soon as you get in the playoffs, the postseason, how are you going to play right then? Because, last year, Lions fucking killed it. The Commanders come into town and fucking give us an ass whooping. We didn't play our best game, but they capitalized on every mistake we made. It all matters about the postseason.
No, and as they say, once you get into the postseason, it's a whole new season. That's the only thing that matters.
You're 0-0. Nothing else matters.
Right. I'm looking at the schedule this week for the Tigers. They're going to wrap up this series with the Arizona Diamondbacks this coming weekend. They're going to be in Philadelphia to play the Phillies before coming home next Monday for a 3-game set, big one too, with the Minnesota Twins. So, the division is going to be on full display here, and then that is going to follow with a weekend series next weekend with the Los Angeles Angels. So the Tigers have, Minnesota is always a thorn in our sides. Minnesota is always a series you cannot take lightly. In terms of the All-Star break, I will say, yeah, they were full steam ahead leading up to the week of All-Star break, but I'm wondering how much damage was done by being swept by the Seattle Mariners before they got to the All-Star game. And then after, much to what Eric was saying, they completely shit the bed, and then they get out on the other side of the All-Star break, and they're stumbling right out of the gate. I'm very much with you in the fact that they had to be humbled.
Can I just say something, Jason?
Yeah.
Literally, you took the words right out of my head. I wanted to say the Minnesota Twins, you can never take lightly. And I thought in my head that they were a thorn in our neck. And you literally said it. That's why I was acting like the way I was. I could not believe that you thought what I thought. And we're on the same motherfucking page. And it blew my mind. Like, literally, I'm just like, wow, that's exactly what I wanted to say. But I didn't want to interrupt you. But I just want to put that out there. You read my mind on exactly what I wanted to say. So that you're on some other shit there, Jason.
Listen, it's chemistry, right? It's the camaraderie. You've been here. This is your second show on here, and this is why when Tim said, "Hey, Eric is interested in being a part of this thing on the regular basis," I'm like, "Fucking bet, let's do this." It was, yeah. Very, very rarely do you capture lightning in a bottle, and that's what's happened here. So,
lightning strike twice, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Tim just needs a personality.
I have a fucking personality. It's just apparently Dave does not think so. Fucking Dave.
Fucking Dave.
Starting shit already today. I love you, Dave.
Come in
You're
here.
my favorite humans ever.
That's
Now he said, so what did you make trade for Jim to get Eric? And I said, Jim is still around. I just texted, or I messaged his ass, be like, where the fuck are you, dude? Because you haven't been on in a few weeks. What the fuck? Like, Jim needs to get his ass on here. He had to what?
We had to make a trade.
Yeah. That's just fucking Lolly goes, like, he has the easiest part of the network because he can just jump on whatever show he wants, whenever the fuck he wants, just on called for. Like, this motherfucker needs to get a grip. Like, Jim, we need you. Your baseball knowledge. Get your ass on here.
100%. So, well, listen, we've been dipping the toes in the water here throughout the course of the show here tonight. So let's just get into what's coming up here in a couple of days. Our Detroit Lions are about to step out into the field for the Hall of Fame game for this year. They're going to be playing the Chargers. This is going to be, for us, something of, I don't know if we want to say measuring stick, but it's going to be a good way to see what we're dealing with this year's team coming off of a pretty remarkable season last season and the season before that, going to the NFC Championship game. Gentlemen, what do you anticipate with this game here? Do you have any kind of predictions as to what we're going to see? Are you just kind of sitting back and seeing what we are going to be watching, what they have at their disposal? Does Los Angeles stand a chance? What's your takeaway with this?
I already seen on the internet that Dan Campbell said a lot of the starters are not going to play. They're getting a lot of practice on Thursday. It's not going to be a lot of starters. So he's not worried about the starters, because I heard Aiden Hutchinson in the practice had 3.5 sacks. He looked like the best player on the field. That's what they said. The 97 won the ticket said that Dan Campbell said he looked like the best player on the field. So Aiden Hutchinson's back. He's coming back for vengeance, because he would have made a difference in that Commanders game, period.
100%.
They're looking at the guys behind them. They're looking at the second, third stringers, what we need. And Isaiah, Tesla, the wide receiver, he's making fucking plays in practice. So it's like you already got St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Tim Patrick. That's a solid third option. Then you got Tesla, sorry. And you got him.
Or Tesla.
But you got
could be French.
You got 4 wide receivers. And you still got Raymond or something?
I don't think Raymond's with us anymore.
You don't think he is? Okay. I don't know.
He could be. He could be. I don't know.
He could be, but I don't know. But your wide receivers are stacked. You have Montgomery and Gibbs. You have Jared Goff. Your offensive line is fine. Tate Radgers is taking all the snaps at center. So you already know what that line is going to look like. And that's the best place. Honestly, if I feel like you're putting a rookie, he has 4 other guys that have been in this shit, been in the NFL, know what they're doing. That's the best place to put him. Make sure you get Jared Goff the ball, and we'll help you out the rest of the way. And the way he played in Georgia, I think he'll do just fine. But I don't think I think this game is to make that 53 roster. I think that's what Dan Campbell's looking at. I think the last preseason game, the starters will get something, but this one is to figure out who's going to be that second and third stringer like we relied on so much last year when our defense had, 23 players hurt?
Yeah.
And on a side note, you had Alex Anzalone. I totally botched his name. He was back in
Put some respect on his name,
Yeah,
damn
I'm
it.
sorry. Speaking's hard for me.
Words are hard.
Exactly. He was back in practice.
It's that shot of whiskey.
Derek
Sorry.
Barnes, it probably was. Derek Barnes is back in pads. He's feeling great.
Blanton's. It's it's hard.
It is definitely some good whiskey though. But you had so many players ready to be back on that field. And on another note, Rodriguez is a month ahead what he should be. He should be back in October. So you're saying
McNeil should be back
Yep.
after I think they're saying the first 4 or 5 games.
100%. And then Dan Campbell's saying Jack Campbell, this is his defense. So I'm looking forward to that. That dude is a tackling machine. I think the Lions I think everyone's sleeping on them this year. After the year they had, I think everyone's going to sleep on them.
It's going to be. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to getting back to football because it just I love listening to the banter between you two because look, I'm a football fan. I love the Detroit Lions. But I don't have the opportunity to get as deep into the inner workings of the game of the team as you guys do. So to sit here and to listen to what Eric just laid out and what Tim laid out all last season, I'm over here like a student, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, these guys really know their shit, and it's so impressive, and it makes me excited for this season. And now that Eric is on the show full time, we're going to get that dynamic every single week.
Jason,
Yeah,
I fucking love football so fucking much. I'm so excited.
I do too.
It is my favorite fucking sport, and I cannot fucking wait. Sorry for interrupting you, but continue.
no, I was just admiring your guys' fandom and just how much you are invested in the game of football, the inner workings and all that stuff. It's incredibly impressive. I love being around smart people, people who know what they're talking about.
You know the one thing I don't like?
What's that?
Is that fucking jersey behind fucking Tim. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. He's a bitch.
Greatest quarterback in the league right now. He's going to be fucking first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to go down. He's going to beat fucking Brady's record.
Oh,
and eventually you'll see me be rocking my fucking Kansas City gear because I love the Kansas City Chiefs just as much as I love the Detroit Lions, but I'm still rooting on the Lions over the Kansas City Chiefs because I've been a Lions fan since I was a kid. And I want to see him win one for my Uncle Ryan. That's why you see that shirt hanging over there. It looks weird just hanging over there. Eventually, that's going to be put in on one of those. That was my Uncle Ryan shirt. He passed away a few years ago. He's the biggest Lions fan I knew. So that's why I rock it there. I was lucky enough to get one of his shirts.
That's amazing.
But I want to get to my point this week. I've been excited this week. The American flag has come down off the front of my house, and the Detroit Lions flag has gone up. I don't know if you noticed that pulling up.
I've seen that pulling up.
Fucking Lions mania, baby! Preseason starts this week. I'm excited. We're gonna get a look at Hendon Hooker. Really, a good look at him for the first time because we didn't get to see him a lot last season. So we're gonna see what Hendon Hooker can do this season.
Pause.
Okay.
He's QB number 3 right now.
I know he is. He's fighting.
He fucking dropped. Yeah. Kyle, whatever. I heard it on the way here.
I don't even know the dude's name, but yeah,
I know his first name's Kyle, but he's been playing his ass off in practice.
He can punch holes through drywall.
You know what you need to do? You know what you need to do? You need to trade Hendon Hooker right now for a fucking draft pick. Because if he dropped a third and this Kyle kid is playing fucking better, trade him. You got him from Tennessee, and some team's going to need him. Probably Cleveland, because Cleveland fucking sucks. But you need to get something.
They have a lot of fucking quarterbacks on their roster in Cleveland. So I don't know if
You know how many
Cleveland will
fucking
work.
quarterbacks they've traded? You know how many quarterbacks
No,
have been
I
on
get
their
it, but they
fucking
have-
roster the last 10 years?
They've got a lot of quarterbacks on their roster right now, so I think they'd be a better pick. But I see where you're going with this.
Exactly.
And it would realistically be smart because one, we got a quarterback in Jared Goff that doesn't get injured a lot because he's a pocket passer.
Well, you have a great offensive line that protects
yeah.
him. So, how can you get hurt?
Well, on top of that, he doesn't really run the ball. He just kind of folds up on a thing. He can't escape the pocket, which, I bitched about this a million times on how Jared Goff doesn't escape the pocket. I wish he was a little bit more mobile, but at the same time, it's also a smart play because he doesn't get injured like some of these guys.
The hardest
who
hit
run
he
the
took
ball.
last year was when he threw that pick against Washington.
Yeah,
He
which
got
should have been a fucking penalty.
Yeah, it's a fucking football game. You play football, you're going to get fucking hurt. He was not defenseless. He took it like on the chin like a man.
Well, he
it is
took
what it
it,
is.
but it should have been a fucking penalty.
It shouldn't have been. Why? He was going to tackle the guy. The dude laid him the fuck out. If I was a defensive player, I hear interception, I'm looking for that fucking quarterback. I'm laying his bitch ass out because he's the quarterback.
Hold on, Dave. Sports
Fuck
Talk.
Dave.
Don't fuck Dave. We
No,
love
I'm sorry,
Dave.
Dave. I love Dave. You gave me a compliment. Tim's a bitch. Thank you.
Dave pops out here. Sports Talk with two drunk guys and Jason.
That whiskey's
I am
hitting
not
right now.
drunk yet, Dave. It
whiskey's
takes a
hitting right
lot
now.
more alcohol for me to get drunk.
Well,
We just get passionate with football.
yeah, we do. We're not drunk. We do get passionate with football because it is time. Like I love the summertime. I love fall for football. I love the colder weather. It's football. There's something different about it. There's something different about watching games on Sunday and Monday and Thursday, and there's just something different about it. It's
Which I'm also excited about it because this is usually when we start our live shows on the weekends. This is going to be a lot of fun this season.
I've heard about that.
Jason, you need to get in touch with those people.
Already one step ahead of you.
Oh, you've already been in touch with them?
And I'm upset I could not be on last week because you talked about the Michigan Panthers moving, and I'm fucking pissed off about that.
Well, if you want to fill in your thoughts on the Michigan
Fucking
Panthers moving
bullshit.
right now, it'd be a good
Michigan is a great fucking state to have sports. You got so many. And you're going to move the Michigan Panthers as our numbers went up and everything, and we made it to the championship game. We're like, oh, yeah, we're relocating you. Fuck you. You should have kept them here because it would have kept going up, and it would have got more people into it. And you're just like, oh, yeah, where are you going to go? Fucking Idaho? Iowa? Where are you going to go? You ain't going to go anywhere. There's going to be more. Michigan is a great sports town. A great
Tampa Bay.
sports state. Detroit, period. Fuck Tampa Bay. Fuck that. They got too many teams. How many NFL teams are there? 3.
There's 3 in Florida.
There's 3 in Florida. There's what? I think 2 NBA teams. There's so many teams in
Let's
Florida.
get back to it. They haven't moved yet, so everybody needs to bitch. I was saying this last week. Everybody needs to write
You're
down.
not wrong.
They need to
You do need a
bitch.
bitch.
They need to do something to keep this team here.
Do not fucking move the Michigan Panthers because you're going to make a big mistake. The market is going up. We signed Jake Bates from the fucking Michigan Panthers, and they literally worked out one of their running backs recently on the Detroit Lions. We're literally taking them and putting them on the NFL. It's literally just a step up from college, and we're getting them. How are you going to be upset about that? That is a great revenue, and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Incredibly frustrating when you look at the bigger picture, because UFL is a merger between XFL and the USFL. Well, with the Panthers potentially being relocated and the other 3 teams in question that are going to be relocated, including the Birmingham Stallions, which has won the last 3 championships of this thing,
Yeah,
they're
why would you move them?
essentially eliminating the USFL influence of what made ultimately UFL. And it makes me wonder, and I mentioned this last week with Tim, what was the point of the merger then? If you just wanted to have an XFL, but you wanted to rebrand it under a new name so you can strip the last remnants of Vince McMahon out of it, because I'm hearing that's part of why they wanted a whole rebrand and get away from the XFL name, then just do that. Why did you have to sit here and, because now you're fucking with people's emotions, because much like us, we want football in the state of Michigan, professional football, and especially the ties between the Lions and the Panthers, i.e. Jake Bates. we were set up to where this was a feeder system for the NFL, and like I was feeling really good about it. So I was stunned when I come across and I'm like, Michigan Panthers among 4 teams being relocated. I'm like, how can you do that? Why would you do that? Because attendance is on the rise here. Yeah, okay, it's Ford Field, and Tim brought up a great point. Maybe it's a building issue, but there's other fields around the state that they can lease for eight weeks out of a whole year. I've got to believe. So yeah, it's a huge mistake in my view.
Well, the right place is Ford Field, and I don't know if you guys have heard. Sheila Ford is talking. They're putting up a Barry Sanders statue outside of Ford Field, but
Much deserved.
But they are talking about putting a $6.8 billion into a new Ford Field.
Why do we need another one?
You tell me.
That's
the
one of the
team
most
is the team
advanced
is on the rise.
Fucking stadiums in the state. It's a great location. There's no point to put more money into another one.
Let me look it up, but I will.
I want to hear about this because
I will show you the article, but I also get it because it was built in 05. So
I get it was built in 05, but why would you move it from the location? It's centrally located in that area. You got fucking everything right there. Like, it's beautiful down there right now.
You're not
You got
wrong.
Comerica
You're
Park
not
right
wrong.
across the street. It's gorgeous. Why would you move it from that area?
Because money talks,
I mean,
my guy.
I miss sports teams being located in Pontiac because it was so much easier to go down and
Well,
see
that
it
was
for
just
us.
like the Detroit Lions in Pontiac, the Detroit Pistons in Auburn Hills, the Detroit Tigers in Detroit. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then you had Joe Louis Arena, which I got to go to. Great stadium, but it definitely was not. It definitely needed to be upgraded.
Which I still say to this day that I miss the Palace for concerts alone, let alone
Dude,
basketball.
the Palace hit. The Palace was amazing.
The acoustics in the Palace for concerts was fucking amazing. Going to concerts now at LCA, it doesn't even come close to the quality of the sound that you got at the Palace.
No,
They should have
not
just
even
kept
close.
that place, and now there's just a big building being built there by a auto supplier or an auto company that is going to be supplying all their dealers out of that building. Like, I don't know if anybody's been by there.
They're building the electric vehicles for GM there. A former Piston is doing that.
Oh,
I don't know who.
If it's a former Piston building in
A
that
former
manufacturing
Piston
thing,
has
it's probably
got
Bill
into that.
Lambert.
Yep.
Bill Lambert has had so many manufacturing plants
It
across
could
the
be.
area. There
I
used to be
don't
one
know.
in Marysville when I was growing up. It was fucking Lambert something. They were manufacturing parts for cars out of it. So, but
Well-
yeah, I'm why Eric is looking at whatever he's looking up.
I'm trying to find the whole thing about Ford Field and everything. So you guys do your thing. I will
Yeah.
listen and I'll put my 2 cents in, but I'm trying to find that.
Football, dude, I am so jacked for fucking football right now. Like, it's like we're just getting into preseason, and I know preseason's kind of like, we're gonna see a lot of these, third stringers, fourth stringers, people that aren't even gonna make the fucking team by the time they get down to the 53-man roster. But we're gonna see some standouts in this. We're gonna probably, my guess, would see Ratledge at center, getting his first snaps at center. By the time this comes out, Dave corrected me, he was making cardboard boxes in Marysville. Bill Lambert was.
Makes sense.
Dave's been around a while. He probably knows more than I did. I thought they were doing car parts, but I remember seeing that factory in Marysville there. But we're going to see Ratledge at center. I still think Graham Glasgow is probably going to be our starting center by the time the season comes around, because he has experience in those snaps, because he'd fill in for Frank Ragnow at that position, and he can make that happen. But we do need to look at the future with Graham Glasgow aging. What is our future going to be? And I think it's going to be Tate Ratledge at that position. Right now, I think we should run him for this season at his normal guard position that he's used to running. But these guys know more than we do. I also saw that John Gruden was at our practice all week. He's been down there all week long helping out, almost like as an assistant role. I really hope that we hire this guy.
Do you know what he said about Jared Goff?
What did he say? Oh, he said he was like Joe Montana.
He compares him to Joe Montana.
Yeah, he compares Jared Goff to Joe Montana.
But side note, this is from the beginning of the show. You guys both know Kevin Nash, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
we know Kevin Nash.
He said people are talking bad about Hulk Hogan after his death. He said he's dead. Think about his kids, think about his friends and his family. And if you don't have anything good to say, shut the fuck up.
I love it.
100% Kevin Nash, you're right.
Exactly.
But continue about football.
If you want, I wish you could go back and listen to my comments this past week on our tribute show that we did, because you would understand my whole feelings on it. I don't really want to get into it right now, but maybe one day that episode will show back up into reality, and you could actually hear my comments on that, because I didn't give a fuck whose feelings I hurt. I let it all lay out. But now I've totally lost my train of thought. Checking the no new comments, so we're good there. Jason, you need to talk right now, because I'm a little maybe I am drunk.
Well, let's go ahead and kind of put a bow on the NFL. We're going to obviously be paying attention to the Hall of Fame game. The Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Chargers are going to be playing Thursday, right?
Yes, sir.
Tonight is the game. So check your local listings. I believe Fox is going to be broadcasting it, if I'm not mistaken. But with that, let's go ahead and switch over to golf and Tim's 2-minute golf report.
Let's hear it.
You know, it makes me very sad that you give that reaction. Everybody gives that reaction to
I'm
fucking
ready.
golf,
I'm
and I
just
love
ready.
golf.
I'm just ready.
It's one of the greatest sports. It's been around for fucking longer than the NFL. It's
fair.
been longer than the fucking MLB. It's been around longer than anything else.
We get it. It's been around a long. Let's hit it.
Welcome to Tim's 2 Minutes Golf Show on the Sports Real podcast, brought to you by the PFC Entertainment Network.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, Tim.
That sounded sexy.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Sexy
You already know what we're going to
hold
talk
on.
about.
I gotta cover the 3M Open before we get in the elephant
Okay,
in the room.
fair enough.
This past weekend we had the 3M Open. Kurt Kitayama. That sounds fancy. Sounds like some type of sushi dish.
Pretty much.
Maybe, I don't know. He won this thing. Stevens in second. Tied for third was Lipsky, Wallace, Knapp, and Cootie. I haven't heard Cootie since I was in middle school, because all the girls had cooties. But it's spelled differently. I don't know.
Fair.
I've been drinking. Fuck. Now I sound.
It was this
I
fucking
sound dumb.
goddamn whiskey.
I
That's
sound
what you-
dumb.
we
I
wanna
shouldn't have
take a
brought out the Blantons.
Want to take a shot for Hulk Hogan? Now we're fucked.
Gadaroop in 10th, tied with Goodwin, Clark, and Wyndham Clark in 12th with Montgomery, Meisner. Stevens in the 14th.
Oh, David
Going down
Montgomery
the-
golfs?
Yes, David Montgomery golfs, and he's a fucking badass. But
I
it's
see
not
that.
that Montgomery. Did I even say Montgomery?
You
Yes,
did.
I did.
You
It's
did.
not David. It starts with a T. I don't know who
Okay.
the fuck
So
he
Tim
is.
Montgomery probably.
Big Dick swinging Cam Young finished 28th.
Wow.
We look at him, Ricky Fowler in 28th, also tied. And this is, it's a smaller tournament. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. This one only had a purse of 8.4 million. So overall, you're not going to name me about what the fuck am I saying? Fuck! This is the point of the show where I can't talk. Next week, we're looking at the Wyndham Championship. And there's some fucking names in that too. Who knows? I right off the top, I see Big Dick swinging Cam Young, and Eric hasn't been on the show long enough to understand why I call him Big Dick swinging Cam.
I don't even want to fucking know.
Big Dick swinging Cam Young. It's a whole lot of Davis commenting some shit. I'm going to check in a second. But the reason we call him that is because I watch golf with my wife, and she cannot his package completely throws her off. And we saw him at the Rocket Classic this year, which we were at as a show.
So
which
your
hopefully
wife-
next year you could come with a show, and it's just as impressive in real life. Like
So
this
your-
guy. Yeah, my wife stares at some dude's
Yeah,
cock.
so what I'm getting is your wife checks out other dudes' packages. Oh, okay.
That's why she watches baseball.
That's why I watch it too, so it's okay.
Yeah. And then, pretty soon here, we're going to get into the FedEx Cup. That'll be the next big tournament coming up. That's
Okay,
a
well,
$20 million purse. We're going to see all the big names in that one. That one's a couple weeks away.
That'll be a good one.
That's August 7th through the 10th. That's when we'll really pay attention to it. But right now, I want to get to...
So that's next
because
week.
I made comments earlier this week of...
Yes. Yes, you did.
You know,
So
everybody did watch Happy Gilmore 2.
we watched Happy Gilmore 2 just
And I want
for
to
you,
know
Tim.
everybody's fucking thoughts on
I
it because
fucking made sure I finished it today so I could talk about it. And I will tell you, my favorite part on it was Eminem's part. Slim Shady's part, I feel like that saved the movie, honestly.
Detroit, motherfucker.
Like, he literally he brought back you're gonna miss this putt, you jackass. Like, he brought that back, and I thought it was great. Like, and how he like died because he got eaten by alligators, and then he was up in the clouds with his dad and everyone else, and he's fucking flipping him the bird. I'm like, that made the movie. And even Adam Sandler talked about it. He's like, I don't know if I should bother Slim Shady. He's probably not going to do it. Then he does it, and he's like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. And he fucking I feel like he made the movie. Because until then, like I said, I watched an hour of it, fell asleep, and I had to finish it. And I feel like that made the movie.
Dave just made a comment of Cam Young's One Wood is his dick.
But I will say, I was
Dave,
surprised.
I love you, brother.
I was surprised at how many stars were in that movie. Like, I literally looked at like
79 cameos.
There were I'm like, there were so many. I was like, okay, they really went all out for it. And I think it made some odd millions in the 3 days it was on Netflix. It was the most ever.
Do you think they missed, and this is a question for the both of you, do you think they missed the mark by not releasing this in theaters? Jason, I'll go to you first. Do you think they missed the mark? I know you watched the movie because I told you to watch it.
I was going anyway because I was a big fan of the original.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing, because I've talked to several people that have watched part 2 and absolutely hated it. And I'm like, why did you hate it? Explain to me why you hated it before I tell you my thing. My thing, or their thing, was they expected it to be like the first one. It wasn't going to be that. And I knew that going into it. You could tell by the trailer that, okay, there's references to the first one, but if you went into it expecting it to be like the first one, then yeah, you absolutely hated it. And I can understand why. I did not. I'll be honest with you. I absolutely loved the movie. I thought once they established the story, and granted the climax and how, you know, where they were all leading to, that part was a little bit far-fetched for me, but there's so much charm with the flashbacks to the original and tying everything in, and you have to go back and watch it a second time to look at the background, because there's so many subtle little tributes to every single person that Adam Sandler either worked with on that movie or has some sort of relationship with him that have passed on. They were very well represented in this movie, and I absolutely loved it. The story took me a little bit to wrap my head around, but I got it. And I love Adam Sandler. He's probably my favorite actor. Okay, I have no problem in saying that. I absolutely loved Happy Gilmore 2. I thought it was a good tribute to the original. It was a good extension, because I mean, when you have that gap of time between the original and the sequel, you're running a risk of it just completely shit in the bed. And I don't really feel like he did. You mentioned Eminem playing the role of the son of the jackass guy, and then the guy they had down there as Chubb's son, Slim, which was ironic because he's a bigger dude. The little shit like that, and the throwback to Virginia being in there, and the guy that was ahead of the tour in the first one, and Shooter McGavin, like all of it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a very good outing. So, but I don't think they should have released it in the theater. I think going the Netflix route was the way to go. And I don't know. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5.
I think what did it for me was the flashbacks of the first one. The flashbacks of everything, bringing back the first one and like making it really sentimental to the first one, because the first one killed it. You can't deny that. The first one killed it. They kept it original. They kept it good. They didn't overdo it. And like there's so many celebrity guests. Post Malone was in it. Like, come on. Like that dude's in everything now. Like he's just dipping his hands in everything, and it's like you killed it. And you got Slim Shady in one of the biggest parts of it. And yeah, he was maybe 5 minutes in the movie, but killed it. Killed the whole part and everything. And it's like they kept it classy. They didn't overdo it. They didn't try to kill it. And like that is the best part about a sequel. They kept, and the fact that Adam Sandler had four sons that just beat the hell out of anyone was great. You had,
I love the fact that one of them was MJF, and they also had Becky Lynch in that motherfucker too. So.
Yeah, and I noticed at the very end, the one son was from Shameless.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I was like, wow, that's Carl from Shameless. I'm like, he fits right in there with the long hair and everything. I'm like, that's awesome. And then you had the daughter that they're all just doing it for, and they, at the end of the scene, they're all going to France with bread in their backpack. I'm like, that they did a great job on it.
Baboonie.
Yeah, and then Adam Sandler doesn't charge his freaking Bentley he won or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that was I saw that was kind of a throwback to Tommy Boy with. Yep. It was a throwback to Tommy Boy.
He's always going to tribute Tommy.
Yeah,
100%. That was one of his greatest friends ever. He will always tribute to Tommy.
Yeah. So I want to give my thoughts on this and why my wife is actually watching because she's saying this, because when I first watched it, I'm like, I love this fucking movie, but I didn't understand the Maxi golf thing. And then she comes out because my wife watches golf with me every weekend. And she goes, dude, they were just straight up making fun of Live Golf right there. And when I was thinking about it, I'm like, actually, yeah, they were straight up fucking making fun of Live Golf there. Yep. Which I thought the funniest part of that was the fact that on the old school golf team, they had. Oh, my wife said, "Oh shit, the Blantons out." I take zero responsibility for either of them because my wife bought me the Blantons. But
lies. You take all responsibility, Amy.
Yeah. She brought up that point, but the fact that Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau were both on the old school golf to save like old school golf. That was funny to me because both of them are on Live Golf right now. So a lot of people were thrown off by the fact that Maxi Golf was so outrageous and all the weird shit going on. But it was just making fun of Live Golf and Live Golf with, I told you last week that there's a Live Golf event coming to Michigan and I would love to check it out. But unfortunately, timing and everything, we can't make it happen this year. But yeah, Live Golf is a party. There's music on the tee boxes. There's concerts every night and all the other shit. So they were just making hardcore fun of another tour trying to start up. And they were making fun of Live Golf. So I understand it now after she brought that into retrospect for me. I love the fucking movie. I loved all the cameos. I thought they were all done
clean
with class.
Yeah, clean.
Yeah, they were clean. From Eminem to anybody else that was in the movie. The golfers that were in this movie, everybody was in this movie. Chase was sitting down there watching it with us, and he was like, "I hope I see Ricky Fowler." And all of a sudden, Ricky Fowler's on the screen. And he's like, "There's Ricky Fowler," because Ricky Fowler is Chase's favorite golfer. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see him at the Rocket because he didn't make the cut. But that was a horsey. He went to the Rocket, but now he's hoping next year to make it down there to hopefully get a ball from Ricky Fowler because he got one from Lanto Griffin. One day I want to reach out to that guy and see if we can do an interview with him because he made Chase's fucking day that day. And I think I'm going to write him to see if that can happen. But
if you put that he made your kid's day, he'll probably reach out.
Yeah, I want to do an interview with him for sure because we went to the Rocket and on the first hole that we walked up to and watched, Lanto Griffin threw my kid a ball. It was fucking amazing. Jason was there. It was cool as fuck. It made Chase's day. We followed him around till the end of his round pretty much. With him and Keegan Bradley, which is, a number 7 golfer in the world. We got to watch him play for a while. Next year you can join us at the Rocket.
100%. I will be there.
The movie I thought hit every mark that I wanted to hit. Was it as good as the first? Honestly, in my opinion, in some ways, no, but in some ways, yes. I think they capped the story perfectly.
I would say first one's a 9 out of 10. Second one's about a 7 out of 10. They did
close.
Great. Yeah, they did close, but you can never top the first one. Just
they did justice.
Side note. They never made another Step Brothers. You know why? Because you could never get that comedy in another movie. They destroyed it with the first one, and they left it alone.
Sometimes you should, but after, I mean, it's
Maybe
96.
they'll make another Step
You're
Brothers.
29 years from the release from the first Happy Gilmore to this one. It was perfect, and it actually makes me wish that we could see Bobby Boucher one more time.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, you leave
Or
Bobby
see
Boucher alone.
No, dude, there will be a Bobby Boucher jersey hanging in my
100%.
studio at some time.
100%. But
I
you
fucking
just
love that role, and I wish they would go back and do the story of Bobby Boucher from college, because he made it to the pros. He was a
No, he
fucking
didn't.
badass.
No,
Oh,
he didn't.
Fuck yeah, he made it.
No,
to
he
the pros.
didn't.
Get off of it. If he didn't make it to the pros, then I'm a jackass.
he
And Eminem
was
called me a
worried about his
jackass.
mama, and he stayed home in Louisiana when he got that wife.
No, his mama was okay with him playing foosball.
Yeah, you're not wrong. She was okay with him playing foosball because foosball was for Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, because it was no longer for the devil. Foosball was no longer for the devil. It's for Bobby Boucher.
No, but Bobby
And he
Boucher's
ta-
mother
and
made a
his
nice
mama
tackle
tackled
at
his
the
daddy.
Exactly. I was
And it was
exactly
over.
saying that.
Cow, we've been drinking. But anyways, yeah.
Not enough.
I love the fucking movie. I thought it was respectful to the first one, just like Jason was saying, just like Eric was saying. I think it was done classy. I
was.
know the whole Maxi golf thing threw some people off, but that's probably not the casual golf fan that
No,
understands
they're
the
trying to change
aspect.
golf, and that's why they cut
Well, and
the ligament in your hip, and so
Yeah.
you could get that stretch. And it's just like, no,
Which
that's
I've been looking into.
Amy. Don't
I'm
even,
really
don't
thinking
even
about
OMG
doing
us,
it.
Amy. Don't
But
even OMG us right now.
That spot hit a little hard for the casual golf fan that doesn't understand what the whole live compared to PGA thing that they're
You're right.
kind of making fun of there. They might
I'll
have hit
be
the
honest,
mark of not explaining that. It
I'll
was a
be-
little,
I had no idea until you said it.
yeah. Like
Had no
I
idea.
didn't even know. Like when I first watched it, I was a little thrown off until my wife brought it up. Thank God for my wife because she's the smartest woman on the planet. And congratulations to her. She got another promotion today.
Hell yeah,
I know
Amy.
she's watching. You're a fucking badass, and I love you. And I know she'll probably be recording it sometime here soon on the Close to the Heart podcast, which she has joined. Are you guys going live this week, Jason, or recording this week?
Just do me a favor, Amy. Keep yelling at Tim like you did today. It was great.
Hey, yeah, that's the plan. I am
Okay.
finishing up the new open for the show, and other things have come up this week, so I'm navigating. But that is most definitely the plan.
Brother, I'm just trying to throw her a plug right now. So
Nope.
catch her on the Close to the Heart podcast with Jason Klaus here. Whenever it comes out, if it comes out this week, next
I
week,
don't
who
even know what
knows?
that
But
means.
there's another podcast my wife is a
Yeah,
part
but
of.
the plug, what are you trying to just hype her up? Just give her the recognition she
I'm
needs.
so that's a plug, Eric. I'm throwing a plug out there. That's a plug.
You used some
But
weird
anyways,
words.
yes. We're leading up to the FedEx Cup in golf. Happy Gilmore 2 was fucking amazing. We all agree. Did it live up to the first? No. But did it play respect to the first? Yes. And did it fit exactly where we needed it to fit in the storyline? Yes. I thought it was perfect.
I would
So-
agree with you on that. All I'm going to say is that was definitely longer than 2 minutes.
It's Tim's 2 minutes of golf talk.
It was way
On
longer
the
than 2
PFC
minutes. It was about like a 5-minute
Sports World
golf.
Podcast brought to you by the PFC Network.
Sorry for interrupting you, sir.
Fuck.
That was your moment to shine. I took it.
That's mine. You
I
gotta
know,
leave
that's
it to
why I
me.
apologize.
It's my
I'm
sexy
sorry.
talk.
I'm sorry.
It's my sexy
You
talk.
broke out the whiskey. You got me kind of tipsy today. I'm going to do what I do, man. I'm sorry. Hulk Hogan passing, and we had to take a shot for him. You know, you want to bust
I
out
have to
another?
say right
if
now,
you want to
Jason-
bust out another one, I'll do
Hold
it.
on. Jason, here real soon, we're gonna have to have you in the studio with
Oh,
us
100%. That will definitely
for
be a vibe.
recording because we can because you still have to do some of the Blattons for Hulk Hogan.
But we got to get him on
So-
a Friday night because he works. You know, he's a night man. He's got to work. He's got to go make that money.
Well, he
so,
can drink some Blattons and go to work. There's
No.
nothing against that.
quick question. You work at Flint Truck and Bus, right?
I do.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
so do you know a guy named Tom Lowridge?
No,
Okay, so he works there, but you probably don't know him
no, I'm afraid I don't.
because it's so big over there.
It is. There's about 5,000 people running around there during the day. So,
100%. But we're not talking about work. We're talking about sports, baby. So what's the next thing on the queue there, Jason?
Well, the cue is Jason's got to go to work, bro.
yeah, we're going to start winding this episode down and put a bow on this. I do want to make one quick programming note for the network. A very special extended edition of the Fatal 4-Way is live this Friday, beginning at 5:30 p.m. We got an extra half an hour. We're going to be breaking down SummerSlam and paying our tribute to the immortal Hulk Hogan on that particular program, 5:30, facebook.com/Orion ONTV for the latest installment of the Fatal 4-Way. We'll be back here on Tuesday night live beginning at 6:45 with these two gentlemen that we have that you see on the screen with me. Check out pfcnetwork.net for all the latest news and information and the moves that are happening with these shows. This is now Tuesday. The flagship show is moving to Thursday. On this day is replacing What the 80s. There's a lot of moving and shaking going on. One-stop shop at pfcnetwork.net. And if you are, this is your absolute last opportunity to get the summer gear, pfcsummer.printify.me. It's gone on Friday. So we're preparing for the fall lineup launch. I'm very excited about that. I got a shit ton of football jerseys and varsity jackets that I'm anxious to get out to the public. So it's going to be very, very cool. With that, we do appreciate everybody who tuned in here tonight and those who tuned in on the RSS feed on demand. With that, we will be back here Tuesday night with a new episode of the Sports Reel podcast here on the PFC Entertainment Network.
Go Lions! Go Tigers! And let's say, fuck it. Go Scotty.